Hello guys, welcome back to data analytics with our video series. In this video we are going to see a very important package, that is the Dplyr package in R. So we'll see the functions, some of the functions of the Dplyr package, that is a filter function, select function, arrange, rename, mutate, transmute, group by, and the pipe operator. Okay, so these things we will cover in this video. So let's get started. Okay, so Dplyr is actually a package that is used for handling data frames in R, and it is a very fast package. I mean, as compared to the function that we have learned so far. So if you go to my data frame video, so there also I have explained some of the functions. So Dplyr functions are similar or actually the same in working as compared to the data frame functions, but then these are more fast. Okay, so people usually use the Dplyr package. Okay, so yeah, so let's get started. So you'll have to first import the library or Dplyr. We'll also use tictoc to just so this is to show the time, how much time has elapsed. So just to prove you that Dplyr package is faster, I'm also going to use tictoc. So if you don't have any of these libraries, you can just put this command install dot packages. Remove the hash because that is a command. So install dot packages tictoc suppose, and if you just run this, for me it will say that it is already used and will not be installed. But if you don't have the tictoc package, it will install it for you. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I have loaded this. Now the data set that I'm going to use for this video is the movie data set. The movie data set, you can get that from Kaggle. I'll post the link below. So it is a big data set because so it has so many unique values. I mean, it is a extensive data set of movies. I have chosen this dataset because I wanted to actually show you why Dplyr is so fast and powerful. Okay, so yeah, let me just run this. So this might take some time to load depending upon your processor. So yeah, okay. So we have got our dataset. So the dataset looks something like this. It has these many columns. So if you actually see, it is not displaying maybe all the columns over here. Yeah, so you can see these dots over here. So this means probably there are some columns that are not displayed because the data set is very big. So in order to actually get a summary of the data set, you can use the str function. So I've put my data set into this variable, that is the movie data variable. So what I do is I just type str movie data, and this will give you a good summary of your data frame. So it says that this is a data frame. It has these many observations. So by observation, it means the number of rows. Okay, so you can see it is such a big data set. I mean, there are so many rows over here, and it has 22 variables. So the 22 variables are these columns. Okay, so I have 22 columns and these many rows. Okay, and you can see each column is listed over here. So that is a t const. I don't know what is t const, but yeah, so this is a movie data set. So this actually has the title type. Okay, so this is a movie. Then the primary title. So what is the primary title of the movie? If the title was changed, then the original title comes over here. So mostly these two are the same, but for some movies it can be different. Is it an adult movie? So if it is an adult movie, it will have one over here. The start year, runtime in minutes, how much long is the movie, and so on. So these are some categories of this particular data set. Okay, so yes, so let's start with the different functions. Let me start with the filter function. Okay, so filter function will actually filter the data set according to your needs. Okay, so it is similar to what we have done before, but this is faster, as I also told you in the introduction. So let's see. So let me filter. so this is the syntax. You type the function filter, you type the first argument will be the data frame. So my data frame is movie data. So from movie data, what I want to do is I want to say filter all the movies that have say runtime less than 30. Okay, so I just type runtime over here. So that's runtime in minutes. That's listing over here, and then you say less than 30. Okay, so this will give you all the movies that have less time runtime less than 30. Let's see that. Yep, you've got this over here. So these are like a lot of frames. I mean, a lot of movies that have runtime less than 30. And where is the runtime? Yep, you can see this is like 20 minutes movies. Yeah. So okay. So there are some which don't have runtime. So this cannot be 0. So basically they don't have the information. So you can also do this. I mean, not equal to 0. Okay. So these are all the movies that have runtime not equal to 0. So these many movies out of the total have actually some runtime. I mean, their runtime is not missing. Okay. Also, I mean, if you don't want to see so many rows, what you can do is you can just type head. The head function will just show you the first 6 columns. So it's easy. I mean, you can just see the first 6 columns and you actually get the summary of your data set, right? So these are the first 6. If you want the last 6, you type tail. So the tail will give you the last 6 columns. Okay, so these are the last 6 columns over here. Okay, so that was the filter function. Now actually we have done something similar in our previous videos as well. So if you remember the data frame video, you could have also done the same thing using the dollar sign. Okay, so what you do is you type movie data dollar runtime minutes. This will give you the runtime minutes column over here, and then you say less than 30. Oh, okay. So I mean, you can change this to anything. Say for now, because we are doing not equal to, so not equal to 0. So this will give you the same thing as the same output as what you have got with the filter function. Okay, remember to put a comma and leave this like this, because you are just selecting these many rows and all the columns, right? So this was the syntax with data frame. So you have the data frame, and then in the data frame you select these columns that have runtime not equal to 0, and these rows that have runtime not equal to 0, and all the columns. Okay, so that's one way. The other way I've just told you, filter function. So where let me just change this. So where you do it like this, you first tell what is the data frame, what is the name of the data frame, and then you tell, okay, this is the row that I want to filter, this is the column that I want to filter, and this is the condition. Okay, so this is using the filter function. There is also something known as the subset function. The subset function is very similar, in fact actually the same as filter, but the thing that I want to show you is now. So what I've done is I've done tictoc. So tick will actually start the clock and toc will stop the clock. Okay, and this will display how much time has lapsed after what has happened inside. Okay, so from tick to the nearest toc, how much time has elapsed, it will print that for you. Okay, I've done the same for the 3, and let us see which is faster. Okay, let me just execute this. So because this data frame is a very big data frame, so what it has to do is actually it has to go to every row and it has to see whether these are zeros or not, right? So this is actually a time taking process. Yep, you can see. So the first one took about 6.48 seconds. You see the filter just took 3 seconds, and subset took 9.73 seconds. Now this will actually also depend upon your computer that you're using, the processor, the RAM, etc. So these numbers also depend upon the hardware that you have in the computer. Okay, but then comparatively, if you'll see, filter is always faster as compared to subset and the normal movie data. Okay, so this is used. Hence, actually, that is the main reason why people use Dplyr packages, because they are faster. So, I mean, this was a very simple example, but then if you actually want to do a lot of things on a very big data set, uh, filter or Dplyr packages are very helpful as compared to, I mean, if you want things to be fast. Okay, so yeah, so that was the filter function. Then there is the select function. So the select function basically just selects the columns for you. So say you want to select these two columns. Oh, you don't want to select. So remember the minus operator. So the select function also is compatible with the minus operator. So if you say minus t const, so I don't understand what is t const. So let me just remove that. Okay, so if you say minus t const, it'll remove t const. If you say minus n const, it'll remove n it'll remove the n const column. Let me just put head over here so that it just displays the first six uh, types. Yeah, you can see now there is no t const and n const over here. I've just removed them from here, so that you can do using the select function. I mean, you could also do it this way, as mentioned in the data frame video. So you could also, I mean, just select those that are important using the normal data frame operations as well. But this is also there in Dplyr, so you can also use the select package as well. Okay, so yeah, so that's the select function. Now the select function also comes with some more things. So like if you want to select all the columns that have say title in them, so say you want to select primary title and original title. Okay, so ends with title, all select all the columns that end with title, so that is also possible. Also, if you notice, I have put a small t, but then it has actually also taken that into consideration. I mean, capital T. Okay, so that is also fine for select. Okay, so like this, I mean, select can be useful in some cases. You can also say matches. So by matches, it actually sees everywhere. So if it gets a match anywhere, it will tell you. So let's see, what can I say? Matches with title will give you actually a similar. Oh, yeah. So you also have known for titles. Okay, so it gives you known for titles as well. I am not sure why didn't these two come. Oh, there is titles over here. So because there is titles, only this came. If I put title, then you will see I have so many things. So here you can see title is in the ahead. Here title is behind, and then over here if you see title is in the middle. So yeah, so this is how matches can work. Okay, so that's one. Okay, the other thing, if you want to comment a particular line, just press control and backslash, so that'll comment. You can also select items and comment. Okay, so I want to comment these three things, control and backslash. Simple. If you want to uncomment, control and backslash again, because it is difficult, right? I mean, you cannot, if you want to select all these, you cannot put this every time. It's time taking, right? So instead you can just do control plus backslash. Okay, just a small tip. Okay, now let us see what is this. Okay, so here now it's one off. So what happens sometimes is you forget, was it t const or was it t constant? So when you are working with big data, you actually forget which column was it. So you can just use the one off function. It is inside select. So the one off function will give you one of these things. Okay, so let me just, yeah, so it says unknown columns t constant, so it does not know what is t constant, but yeah, t const is there, so you can use that. Okay, now this, if you don't use one off, you will not get a good output. I mean, you'll get an error, because so say if I do something like this, I want to just say print t constant. If I just run that, it gives me an error, can't subset columns that don't exist. Okay, so that is the reason why one can use one off if you don't remember what was the column name. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you can always go and see back and see what was the column name. But yeah, but if you have a lot of columns, and I mean, over here only, I cannot see. I've removed that. Yeah, so if you have a lot of columns, it becomes difficult sometimes. So you can use this as well. Okay, so that was about the select function. Then you have the arrange function. Now the arrange function is very similar to order that I've previously introduced. So the arrange function will actually order the, or sort the columns that you have defined. So over here, say I want to sort these movies with respect to their runtime. So I want the minimum runtime ahead, and then so on. So you can use arrange for that. Now this also will take some time, because this is a big data set, as I've mentioned. So it has to actually sort each one of the runtimes, which is actually a time consuming task. Okay, so yeah, so you can see that it took about 3 seconds. Now you can also do the same thing using order, as I've previously told you. So that is also possible. But then, yeah, I mean, the main advantage of using the Dplyr package is that it is fast. So this was done in some 3 seconds. Let's see how much time does the original normal this. Oh, you can see this takes 12 seconds in my PC. So you can see, I mean, the difference. So yeah, Dplyr functions are pretty fast. Okay, then let's see the rename function. Okay, now, I mean, if you want to rename a particular column, say I don't like runtime minutes, let me just put RTM. So these are like very big names. I mean, I don't like these so big names, because if you have big names, what you have to do is you have to type that whole thing over here, right? So smaller names are pretty useful. So what you can do is you can use the rename function, and actually this dataset is something that is online. I mean, this was available, so I cannot actually rename this myself, right? I mean, I've not created this. So to rename this, there's the rename function. Okay, and it's simple. I mean, you just say movie data rename function. You put which data frame do you want to rename, and you say the new name, this is the new name, is equal to the old name. So the old name was runtime in minutes. Now I am saying runtime in minutes is equal to RTM. Okay, so remember, this new name is equal to old name. Let me just type that, because if you do the opposite, then it will not work. It requires the old name over here and new over here. Okay, and you run this, yep, so now you have got this RTM over here. Simple. Okay, yeah, I mean, just to show you, this won't work the other way around. So if you have the old name over here and new name over here, it will give you an error, because RTM doesn't exist. Okay, so yes, so that was about the rename function, a pretty basic function, but then it's good to know if you want to rename things. Okay, now say you want to add a column. So this is in minutes. Say I want to do it in seconds. Okay, say I don't know, there is some task because of which for which I want runtime in seconds. Okay, so what you can do is you can use the mutate function. The mutate function will add columns for you, and you can do some mathematical operations and select the values that you want to put in the new column. Okay, so the mutate function, this is, I mean, how it looks like. Mutate bracket, again you put, so for all the Dplyr functions, the syntax is pretty common. I mean, you use the function, the first argument is always the data frame that you want to operate on. Okay, so yeah, so the first is the data frame, and then the second is based on what function you have. So for the mutate, it's like, okay, what I want to do is I want a new variable or a new column, runtime in seconds, and that should be equal to runtime in minutes into 60. Simple. Okay, so this will give me runtime in seconds. Let me see that. So what it does, is it puts the new column in the behind. Okay, so yeah, so you can also see, I mean, so this has become 23. So initially it was 22, now it has become 23, new column over here. Okay, so that is when you actually want to append. So mutate is when you actually want to append a new column in the data frame. But if you want to just, I mean, just use this column, I mean, I don't want to append it somewhere, but I want to create a new data frame and just use this new column for my analysis, then you use transmute. So transmute will just give you the new column that you have, okay, created. So only one column, the new column that you've created. Okay, so this is like helpful when you want to do some analysis on a different data frame and you want to keep it separate from the original. Okay, again, so over here I am actually not defining any variable, so I'm just displaying you the data frames. Okay, actually you would want to put this into a new data frame, say movie data 1. Okay, so this is how you do it, right? So now the movie data 1 will contain, yeah, so now this will not actually display. So for displaying, I'll have to type movie data 1. Yeah, so this is my movie data 1. Okay, you get that. I mean, till now I was just displaying these functions, but then if you want to actually put them into some other data frame or create a new data frame, you do it like this, right? So that was mutate and transmute function. So transmute will only give you the column that is modified, the new column, and mutate will just append it after your columns, I mean, in the data frame. Okay. Yes. So now other function is like a group by function. So say you want to see the different genres and how much runtime or how much is the average runtime for a particular genre. Okay, so say for the romance genre, if you see, say these are the 4 movies for the romance genre. For documentary, this is the movie. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to get the mean of all the movies that are in the romance category and all the movies that are in documentary category and so on. Okay, so let's see that. So what you can do is you can call the group by function. You make a variable over here. So grp suppose is equal to group by function. You give the data frame name, so movie data, and genre. So you want to group by what column, so that's the genre column. So here you have romance, and so remember, I mean, these group by functions should have level type of data. So like there is romance, there is documentary. So using group by over something that is, say, RTM is actually not useful, because this is like continuous values, it can be anything. So it'll actually not, I mean, you'll get something, you'll get some output, but it'll not be very useful. Okay, because it says group by, so I want to group by the genres. So I should have a limited number of genres, right? I mean, if I have a continuous range of genres, like, I mean, like RTM, where there is a range, so then it actually does not make sense to group by, right? So yeah, so you do this, and now so this group by will just create a group and keep it into the data frame. So if you see, group will actually not be very different. it is same as the data frame movie data for now. I'll just come in a second. Oh, maybe I should have just done head of group. Okay, no problem. Okay, so here you can see it is actually very similar. I mean, you can see but the data type is a little different. So this is a grouped data frame. Okay, so the use of group by is actually with summarize. So the summarize operator will actually do what you actually want. So what I want is I want to group these romance or these genres according to their run times. Okay, so what I'll type is I'll type genre. Oh, sorry. First I have to type the data frame, so that is group, and then I'll type genres. Oh, sorry. So I want to take the mean, right? And I want to take the mean of runtime minutes. So I say mean RTM is equal to mean of run. See, I have to type so much. I mean, so that's how rename is helpful. So yeah, mean runtime minutes and enter. Oh, again I forgot head. No problem. Okay, so here you can see it has given me the mean runtime of all the different genres that are there over here. So here you can see the mean. Okay, so there are so many genres in this particular. So it has 1415 different genre categories, and it has given me the mean runtime of every genre. Okay. You could also use, I mean, something else. Say I want to see the average rating of all the genres. So you can type mean average rating. So mean average rating will give you the mean average rating of all the genres. So say, I mean, you have a task where you want to see uh, which particular genre is most popular in this data set, or which particular genre has the most highest rating, right? Which is good. I mean, which is that people like. So you can do it. Oh, there are NAs over here. So NAs is nothing but missing value. So let me just remove the missing value using na.rm. That's true. So here you can see how the previous videos are so useful. So na.rm will remove the missing values for you. So here you can see there's an NaN value. Let's see why we have got NaN over here. Okay. So this belongs to action adult documentary. So let us just see all the movies or see the runtime of all the movies that are action adult documentary. Okay. So for that, let me just do that quickly. So what I've done is I've selected movie data dollar genre. So this is the basic data frame operation. So this will give me the genre, and I am selecting the average adult documentary rows. So I'm selecting all the movie genres that have average adult action adult documentary, and I'm just choosing the average rating for now. Okay, so just to see why am I getting an NaN over here, because when I do the mean of all the values that are in mean run, I mean that are in the runtime for this particular category, I'm getting an NaN. So just to see why am I getting NaN. Okay, so when you do this and then put that into the data frame, so this is the basic data frame operation. When I just run this, you see nothing. So this is actually an empty thing, because so there are no values for this particular uh, action adult documentary and average rating, and it is actually missing. Okay, now what happens is when you do a mean over this, you get a NaN. Okay, so these NaNs basically tell you that these have missing values. I have removed the NA values over here. So the missing values, I mean, the NA values are removed, but then because there is nothing over here, I mean, the adult documentary contains no what do you call that, no ratings. Hence the mean of nothing is giving you not a number. Okay, so that is why this is what is happening over here. Okay, so yeah, so let's just, I mean, this was just to tell you why there was nan over here, but just to move ahead. Okay, so now say I want to sort this. Okay, so I've done the mean because I want to know which is the highest rated genre in this particular data set. So I have to sort that. So to sort, what I do is I use the arrange function, right? So we use arrange. Okay, we'll arrange this particular data frame, this that we have got over here. And then how will we arrange that? We arrange it by sorting. One second. Yeah. So we just use the arrange operator over here. So arrange is used for sorting values. What you need is arrange the data frame that you want, and then what do you want to sort, that comes over here. So arrange, I have my data frame over here, so this becomes my data frame. And what do I want to sort? I want to sort mean RTM. This is what I want to sort. Let me run this. Okay, so now you can see that this is actually giving me lower uh, ratings first. I mean, this is ascending order. What if I want to do descending order? So for descending order, there is a function DESC. You can use that, DESC. So this will give you descending order, and here you go. So the best genre in this particular data set is comedy document fantasy. It has got a mean rating of 9.4. Okay, so yeah, so this is how you can actually sort things in a data frame. Now you can actually see this is very difficult to visualize. You can see that, I mean, this arrange, this summarize, so very difficult to understand what is happening over here. So let me just remove this for now. Yeah, so it's very difficult to actually understand what is happening over here. Let me remove this also for now. So what you can do is you can use a pipe operator. So pipe operator is very helpful in these cases. What you do is, say I actually started with the group data frame that I've got with group by function, if you remember the group by function. Yeah, so I started with this. So what I do is I want to do some operation on this. The operation that I want to do will be in this pipe. So I have the group, I want to put it somewhere. Where do I want to put? So this group actually goes to summarize. So I want to go put that in summarize. So that comes over here. Now the first argument of summarize comes from the pipe, that is group. So the first argument is group, that is taken care of. Now what you want to do is you want to put the second argument. So the second argument is this. Oops, I took two brackets. Okay, so this is the second argument. Now this is done. Summarize, I've got this whole thing over here. Summarize will do whatever that is needed. Now this thing, this particular thing has to go to arrange. Okay, so I make another pipe. This thing will go to arrange. Okay, and then what other thing that I want to pass to arrange is this particular thing. So that comes over here. Simple. So now, I mean, you can see this is more easy to understand. So what I did was I had a group. I first summarized the group. How did I do that? Using a mean RTM, where I'm just taking the mean average value. Okay, and then this whole summarized thing, I'm arranging it in descending order. Very simple. This will give me the same output, exact same output. Comedy document fantasy is. Okay, so if you have actually very complicated lines of codes like this, then you can use the pipe operator, because it is very easy to read a pipe operator. So group went to summarize, that when to arrange in descending order. Simple. Okay, so that is how we use a pipe operator. I hope this video was helpful. So these are some of the basic common commands in Dplyr. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.